Hare Krishna, welcome all devotees to the Gita Daily program. So thanks for joining. So today we'll be discussing Sloka number 4.6 of Bhagavad Gita. So let's take the blessings of the Lord, Jagannath Baladev Sumadramaya Sudarshan, God and I, Lakshmi Narasimhadev and Panchatattva. By their blessings, we can understand the difficult topics of spirituality. So let us recite the prayers. Om Atnanati Mirandasya Nananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatyare Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gauravakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So let's dedicate the session to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, who has dedicated his life to spread the Vedic knowledge throughout the world. So by his mercy, we can try to understand the difficult topics of Bhagavad Gita. So let us recite today's sloka. So today's sloka is 6th sloka from chapter number 4. Ajopi sannavyayatma bhudanamishwaropi san prakritim swamadhishtaya sambhavami atmamayaya. Repetition. Ajopi sannavyayatma bhudanamishwaropi san prakritim swamadhishtaya sambhavami atmamayaya. Translation by Divine Krishna Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Although I am unborn, and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, by my internal energy I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. So let's see the word to word meaning. Aja, unborn, Api, although, Son, being so, Avyaya, without deterioration, Atma, body, Bhudhanam, of all those who are born, Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, Api, although, Son, being, Prakritim, in the transcendental form, Swam, of myself, Adhishtaya, being so situated, Sambhavami, I do incarnate, Atma Maya, by my internal energy. So, just try to set the context. Uh, so, we were discussing, no, we are in the chapter number 4 of Bhagavad Gita. So, our chapter is titled as Transcendental Knowledge. So, here actually, Krishna actually is giving Arjuna the transcendental knowledge. He starts to give little bit initial information, but then later he talks more in detail in further chapters. So here actually we saw in this chapter initially Krishna was telling Arjuna that this knowledge which I am giving you now, the transcendental knowledge which I am providing you now, it's eternal in nature. I have already spoken this to sun god very many millions of years ago, but we also saw that Krishna first gives the knowledge to Lord Brahmaji, when during the beginning of the creation. So we have seen that the Vedic knowledge is eternal, right? And secondly, we saw that the Vedic knowledge has to be acquired in a parampara, a disciplic, unbroken chain of disciplic succession. So Krishna is saying that this knowledge is acquired through a parampara, evam parampara praptam. So these things we saw. Then also in the last session, Krishna, we saw that why Krishna chose Arjuna to receive this knowledge, right? Although there were so many other personalities, great accomplished, but then Krishna chose Arjuna because Krishna himself says because Arjuna was his devotee, bhakta and saka, right? His friend and devotee. So we understood that to understand Bhagavad Gita, the material scholarship or intellectual capability is not sufficient because it is a transcendental knowledge beyond our senses. So we have to be first of all accepting the Supreme Lord, Krishna as a Supreme Lord, and become his devotee and have a humble and surrendered mood. Then actually the Lord reveals the knowledge to us. So similarly, Arjuna also initially, he was arguing with Krishna that he doesn't want to fight because of various logical reasons. But finally, he actually surrenders to the Lord, right? So Shishyas Deham Shadimam, Krishna Arjuna says. So then actually the spiritual knowledge is transferred to Arjuna. So, but Arjuna had a question, right? Like we also might have had a question when Krishna told that this knowledge I have spoken to Sun God many, many millions of years ago, verse 1. So Arjuna asked Krishna, how it is possible? How do I understand this? Because you and me are like almost of the same age. No, we were born like similar age, so they were all similar ages. How it is possible that no you spoke to sun god so many millions of years ago? So then Krishna replies, saying that both of us have taken many births, Arjuna, but no, you are not able to remember, but I am able to remember because I am the same person. So this is no. Then after that, actually, Krishna further explains this particular topic, this sloka, today's sloka. Ajovisan atma bhutanam ishrovisan pragadim samadhishtaya sambhavami atma maya. So what actually it means is that Krishna says that although I am unborn, the Lord of all living entities, and have an imperishable nature, yet I appear in this world virtue of Ogamaya, my divine power. So today we will try to understand what is the speciality of the Lord appearance. So so people who are actually not knowledgeable, they don't have people who doesn't have spiritual knowledge. They sometimes think that the Lord actually is also like one among them. So this topic we'll also see after two shlokas. We'll again discuss it in little more detail. So today we'll just try to touch upon the initial understanding of how to understand the Lord's appearance. So first thing we need to understand is that the topics about the Lord, no, or the spiritual topics, are actually beyond our sense perception, right? So they are actually not easy to understand. Understand until the Lord reveals the knowledge in the heart, because we are covered by the curtain of Maya, right? The curtain of Maya. The Maya's influence is spread everywhere in the material world. The Maya is the external energy of the Lord, by which the material world is conducted. And by design, it is designed in such a way, we have already seen that the Jiva, the Atma's original spiritual knowledge is covered actually. When they come to the material world, the Jiva forgets his in original identity as Atma, and also he forgets its connection with Krishna, right? So this is by design. So the curtain of Maya is very strong, and it keeps the Jiva bewildered by the three modes of material nature. So we need to understand that these topics may not be initially, easily understandable by us, but we should have faith in the Lord. And when we make progress and we attain the purity, right, the slowly the curtain of Maya is removed, and then this knowledge is revealed. Automatically, we have the realization, because in the conditioned nature of the Jiva has been in this material world for many millions of years, many millions of lifetimes. It has passed through various bodies. We have seen, no? Right, we have seen that the Jiva takes one body after another, right, based on the karma and the desire. So because of the conditioning and the Maya's influence, it's very difficult for the Jiva initially to understand the transcendental topics of the Lord, because the Jiva, we try to estimate everything by our understanding of this, what we have. The material world is designed in a different way, right? There are material laws here. The Jiva is subjected to the material laws, because for example, we are trapped in this body, right? And the body being made of matter is subjected to the material law. So if I want to suddenly go to a particular place, I cannot go there. Actually, I have to take a vehicle, travel, by plane, train, etc. So I'm not able, and I cannot see what is beyond, in my current vision. But actually, the jiva is not bound by all these rules. No, the actual soul, if he just imagines, or he thinks he can reach that place instantaneously. Similarly, he actually is not bound by, he can see everything. So the jiva is actually having the same nature of the Lord. But then when they comes to material world, and is conditioned by Maya, actually his abilities are restricted. So that is why so that's why I just want to set the context that the things, the transcendental nature of Lord's appearance, right, are very difficult to understand by the conditioned soul. But then yet we can try to follow the path of the previous acharyas. The pure devotees of the Lord, they have already realized these things by the mercy of the Lord. No? So they have described the Lord's nature, right, in various scriptures and Vedic scriptures. So we can try to understand by following their footsteps, right? Though may not fully understand it. So we can make small progress. So Krishna says that he is unborn. Aja means unborn, right? So Ajo Bisan Ave Atma. Bhutanam Ishwaro Bisan. So he's saying that I am the Buddha, Ishwara of all the Buddhas. I am the controller of all the jivas, right? But and I am unborn. No, but I appear. Still the Lord appears to be born, right? Ajo Bisan Avyatma Bhutanam Ishwaro Bisan Prakritim Sam Avistaya Sambhavami Atma Maya. So we have to understand what is the difference between the Lord's appearance and the jiva's appearance. So the jiva as a conditioned soul, we have seen that just now we saw he is bound by the material rules, and he is forced to take birth. So there are four things which the jiva cannot avoid, which is janma, mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. Birth, death, old age, and disease. So this is the nature of of the material world, that every jiva has to go through the four things: birth, death, old age, and disease. So based on the karma the jiva performs in one lifetime, and also the based on the karma that he has performed in many past lifetime, he has a set of karmic reactions, because of which he has to take a particular body in the next life, right? So it is also mentioned, it also depends on the consciousness of the jiva at the time of death, that his next body is decided. So the jiva is forced to take a body. Whether if he doesn't like, also he doesn't have a choice because he is forced. So this way, based on the karma and the desire of the jiva, he is forced to take different bodies, life after life. Right? So there is no guarantee what body we are going to get in the next life. Unless and until we utilize this human life properly, it is possible that we may degrade to lower species. There are 84 lakh species according to Vedic scriptures, right? Many of them are, some of them are animals, some of them are plants and trees, right? Some of them are microorganisms, some of them are aquatics, right? And few of them are human. So, so actually, the jiva is forced by material nature to take one body after another, based on the karma. But however, when the Lord appears in this material world, he is not forced by, he is not under the jurisdiction of Maya, because Maya is under his jurisdiction. Krishna says, Maya Dhakshena Prakriti Suyadeyada Saracharam, right? So, He Dunanenu Kaunteya Jagat Vivarivartate. So, the material nature is acting under the guidance and under the Adhyaksha, or the supervision of the Lord, right? The Lord has various multifarious energies. So there is primarily the internal energy of the Lord, which is known as the Yogamaya potency, and then there is the external energy of the Lord, which is called Mahamaya potency. So the external energy of the Lord actually is controlling the material world, and the Lord actually is the master of both the energies. So when the Lord comes here in the material world, he actually is coming by his internal potency, known as Atma Maya. That is what Krishna is saying, no? Sambhavami Atma Maya, right? So by internal energy, by his own sweet will, he appears in this material world, right? But um, just to align with the rules of material nature, right? The Lord actually also sometimes he follows the rules of the material nature, right? So he appears. So Krishna actually, we know that the Lord appeared, in actually the prison house of Kamsa, right? To as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, right? So he actually appeared to take birth like a normal child, like so Devaki actually was became pregnant, then he delivers a child in the prison house. So this is just to show the jiva, the normal living entities or the normal souls, conditioned souls, that actually he is also one among us, right? So that actually they can relate with the Lord. So when the Lord in his form, as when the Lord appeared as in the Dwapara Yuga as Lord Krishna, son of Devaki and Vasudeva, he actually performed so many wonderful pastimes. No? So he actually just acted just like a small child initially, but then he performed many wonderful acts which normal children can do. He killed so many asuras, he lifted the Govardhan hill, so many pastimes. But then generally he reciprocates with his friends. He has his sagas, who are actually gopas are there. So he just played with like a normal child with the gopas, right? And he ate the food along with them. He did the activities like a normal person. So in order so that the jivas can relate with him in the normal way, he appears like a normal person. So he appears to take birth, right? But then actually he did not. He is not like the conditioned soul. So it is mentioned that when the Lord, yeah. So that we will see later. So we here we understood that no. So Krishna actually he is not appearing like a normal person. He actually he doesn't have birth or death. He is eternally existing in his original transcendental form in the spiritual world, and everything is expansion. Is various expansions. All the jivas, all his avatars. So Krishna is the fountainhead of everything. He is the source of everything, right? He's mentioned in Brahma Samhita, Sarva Karana Karanam. So everything comes from him, right? And he's eternally existing in the spiritual form. But then sometimes he appears in the material world, right, to attract the jiva. So that we will see in the next two slokas, tomorrow and tomorrow. So we have to just understand that Krishna's appearance is not like ordinary soul's appearance. Then the Lord actually, we have seen that the Lord has a spiritual form. No? His form is known as Sachidananda, which is consisting of Sat, Chit, and Ananda. Sat means eternity, Chit means knowledge, and Ananda means bliss. So his form is transcendental, which actually for us it is difficult to understand when you say what is Sachidananda. But nevertheless, no, he has this transcendental form which is always existing, and the Lord has various incarnation. Sometimes we have seen briefly in the previous session, right? Sometimes so the various expansions of the Lord, no, like the first Chaturvyuha, Balram, then Narayana, then second Chaturvyuha, right? And then from that the Vishnu, Mahavishnu appears. So Mahavishnu is responsible for it. So sometimes the Lord's Vishnu forms have four-handed form. It's called Chaturbhuja. So the Lord in the Vaikuntha. So the Vaikuntha also, there are innumerable Vaikuntha planets. So of that, actually, the Vaikuntha where the Lord Narayana resides, right? So there he exhibited a four-handed form, Chaturbhuja form, with the Shankha Chakra, Gada, and Padma. But actually, of all the Vaikuntha planet, the topmost Vaikuntha planet is known as the Goloka Vrindavan, right? Where actually the original Krishna, which is the source of all incarnation, you know, the Swayam Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan form, is mentioned as two-handed form. So the original form of the Lord, actually is the form of a cowherd boy, a cowherd young boy with two hands, holding a flute, right, and wearing a peacock. So this is the Shama Sundara form. So it is mentioned in Brahma Samhita, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilojanena, Sanda Sadeva Hridayeshu Vilokayandi, Yem Shama Sundaram Achindya Gunaswarupam, Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So it is mentioned that this original form of the Lord, right, is the form of Shama Sundar. Like his color is like that of a rain, a dark rain cloud, and it is very beautiful. And it is mentioned Kandarpa Kodi Gamaniya Vishesha. So actually, if millions of cupids came at the same time, how much beauty is there? Like that, so much beautiful is the Lord's form, right? So this is the original form of the Lord, and this form can only be seen by Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilojanena. So when our eyes is anointed by pure devotion, bhakti, right? Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. When the eye is anointed by the pure devotion to the Lord, then actually, and when the Lord decides to reveal, then actually this beautiful form of the Lord can be revealed. And Yam Shama Santaram Achinta Gunaswarupam. Right. So this is the original form of the Lord. So yeah, so these are the main points. So we will actually look into this point little more, after one more, like, after this, maybe on Monday. I think again we will look into a little more detail about this sloka, because there Krishna is saying that how his appearance is divine, Janma Karma Chame Divyam, right? So he tells about it. So we will continue that discussion on Monday about this. So we will just now we'll just look at the incidents of Krishna's birth, in little more detail, how the Lord appeared. So, so Krishna, actually, the Lord appeared in Dwapara Yuga, as son of Devaki and Vasudeva, right? And Prasanna. So this story, most of you know, right? How Kamsa, no, got the information prior, no, that Devaki's eighth son will kill, and then Kamsa will kill all the previous children. So then the Lord appears mysteriously in the Prasanna. So, so the so when the Lord appeared, it is mentioned that first the Lord appeared in the heart of Vasudeva. So, he appeared in the heart of Vasudev, and Vasudev, actually felt that something transformation is happening in him. And then the Lord transferred to the heart of Devaki. So it is not like the normal conception, between husband and wife. So it is actually the Lord's appearance is very transcendental. So then he transferred to heart of Devaki, and then he transferred to the womb of Devaki. And when the Lord appeared, first initially he appeared in the 400 Vishnu form. Okay, so he gave the darshan, to the 400 Vishnu form, which actually was fully decorated. No, the Lord had Kuntala, Kirita, right? He had he had four hands and like Chanka Chakra, Gada, Padma. So how it is possible? If it is a normal child, we cannot have all these things in the body, of the mother, right? In the womb of the mother, we cannot have. So that itself says that the Lord's appearance is transcendental. He appeared in the full form with all these opulences. No, he appeared before Devaki, right? So then Devaki actually request, because Devaki actually is covered by Yoga Maya potency, the internal energy of the Lord. So that, no, basically this Yoga Maya covers the devotees, so that the devotees can enjoy the rasa with the Lord. Because if the devotee think that he is the supreme Lord with all the opulence, then he cannot interact freely with the Lord. So the Yoga Maya potency covers, and then the devotees think that he is an Lord, no, is just is my son. Like that, no, Yoga Maya plays her role. So because of that, Yogamaya, so Devaki actually requests, the Lord that, no, you please hide this form, because if this form is seen by Kamsa, then actually immediately he will try to kill you. So you try to become like a normal boy. So then the Lord becomes a small baby, and appears before them. So this is actually, this is giving a hint to us how the Lord's appearance is transcendental. So this is only one example, right? But we know that Lord appears in so many wonderful forms. When he appeared at Narasimhadev, he appeared from the pillar. So the Lord actually can do anything, because this material world is like a drama or a dream or a movie, right? It's kind of an illusion. right? And the jiva is under the dream, and he thinks various things that I am the body and etc. etc. So, but the Lord is actually the player of the movie, right? So he can do whatever he wants, right? He is not bound to material law. So that's the principle that we need to understand. So yeah, so that we try to wrap up today's session. So what actually we understood today is that the appearance of the Lord, Lord is describing to Arjuna how his appearance is different from the jiva's appearance, normal jiva. Because Arjuna's question was that how can I understand that you spoke this knowledge to sun god many millions of years ago, right? And the Lord says that you have taken many births, even though I have also appeared many times, but actually my appearance is different. I can remember all the past because it is mentioned that the Lord's for the normal jiva we have the three layers, right? We discussed that the real person is the atma, which is the soul, which is very small in size, and which is covered by the subtle body, which is consist of mind, intelligence, and ego, and then the gross body, which is consist of the panchabhutas, earth, water, fire, air, ether. But then for the Lord, actually, these things are not appearing. These are all required for the material world. Actually, if you want to appear in this world, the Lord's original form is transcendental. He has a spiritual body, which is Sachidananda, and when he appears also he comes in that spiritual body, right? But then he tries to perform a act or a drama, no, that he is growing from a small baby, he is growing to a youth, no, then he becomes a young man, etc., and he never becomes old, right? So this is just for the display of the ordinary soul. But actually, he coming in the original transcendental spiritual body, right? And that body is never changing, it's all eternally existing. So that's why the Lord actually can remember everything, because he is the source of everything. So this is what actually Krishna explains to Arjuna. So so we'll see that more in subsequent sessions. So what are the key lessons that we can apply from this? Is that first we need to understand that we need to have patience. No, we should have patience in understanding the spiritual topics. So it is not by material scholarship, no, that I have learned. I'm so much. I have so many degrees. I have done PhD, or no, or I am a scholar in Sanskrit, or I'm a scholar in Hindi, whatever it is. So I should be able to understand the spiritual topic by my own endeavor, which actually is not the right understanding. So we should have patience. We should actually be submissive. We should try to follow the acharyas in the authorized parampara and patiently wait for the Lord's mercy. So we have to become purified because we have contaminated, and in this contaminated state, our eyes are covered by makatan of Maya. But when the eye is anointed with the ointment of love of God, gradually, we become purified, and the Lord actually reveals Himself. That's what Krishna mentioned yesterday. We saw, no? Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavritam. Right? So I am not revealed to everybody. I am covered by yogamaya. When the Lord becomes pleased with our devotion and humility, then He automatically reveals us. So the key takeaway is that we should have patience and faith, in the acharyas, right, and faith in the Lord, and sincerely endeavor to make progress in the path of devotion. Right? Then actually automatically the Lord actually will reveal. But it takes time. We should keep going. So basically, the path of spirituality, we should consider like it is like a boat, right? So when you have faith and you have boarded this boat or ship, and we can cross this material ocean. The material ocean is very vast, very difficult to cross. But we should remain seated in the boat. If you are impatient and if you try to jump out of the boat, then you will miss, no, miss the ultimate goal. So we should somehow have faith, and the other occupants who are also devotees, we should have faith with them, and keep association and keep connected, and keep have the faith, and when someday we will actually attain success. So have patience, right? So in a family environment, for the children, actually we should teach the transcendental knowledge, right? We should give time to them, to explain what actually we understood, so that all your relatives, family members, they are also benefited. So we should give the knowledge to others also. Okay, so with that, I think we end today's session here. So if anybody wants to leave at this point, they can leave, or if anybody has any question, they can unmute and ask, or they can put it in the chat. So if there are no questions, then we will meet again tomorrow. So tomorrow we will be seeing, why the Lord appears in the material world. Right? What is the purpose of the Lord's appearance? That we will discuss tomorrow. Okay, so thanks once again for all of you for joining. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you.